Cinema Shogun here, and things are really heating up and starting to get really interesting on the Britney Spears front. Like I told you in my last Britney video, I think people are getting fed up and things are going to start getting exposed. I expect that over the coming days, weeks, and months, we're going to start getting a lot of interesting information about Britney Spears, about how she's been acting, and about the various people around her who are still taking advantage of her. And one thing and one person that needs to get exposed is Matthew Rosengart, Britney Spears' lawyer. I've told you all for months now. I've looked into this situation. I've dedicated so much of my time looking into this situation. And from what I can see, the Free Britney movement was nothing more than a psyop, a facade. Yeah, I do believe that there were people genuinely interested in freeing Britney Spears. I don't mean the whole movement, like you sitting at home, you consider yourself part of the Free Britney movement. I have nothing against you. But the main figures when it comes to this Britney Spears movement, none of them were really here to free Britney. None of them were really here for Britney's best interest. What happened here is, with the Free Britney movement, they removed Britney Spears' family out of the equation so they could have a bigger piece of the pie. That is exactly what happened with Britney Spears, the end of her little conservatorship that really never ended, and all of that stuff. They got the family out of the picture so Hollywood and all of these big wigs out here could take a bigger piece of the pie. It's really that simple. It's not rocket science. And I think any normal person can see this. Like, if you weren't a Britney fan at all and you looked into the situation, you would see it for what it is. I'm not here to say that Britney's family was the best. Sure, maybe they did some shady things. But the reality is, Hollywood is more shady than anyone's family. And Hollywood wanted Jamie out of the situation, out of the equation, so they could directly control Britney. They didn't want to have to go through Jamie Spears anymore. They didn't want money going to Jamie Spears anymore. That money could be going to them. And now we know that it is. It's now being reported that Matthew Rosengart has been paid over $4.2 million in legal fees over the past year. What has he done? Nothing at all. Listen, these big Britney stands, they'll talk about Project Rose, all of this is happening, these court dates. Nothing is happening at all. You all have to be careful. Stop getting your information from these YouTube lawyers. Do you want to know why lawyers come to YouTube? Because they suck at their job. That's why. You've never noticed that all of these YouTube lawyers, none of them ever have a real case to handle? None of them ever have to go to work, and none of them ever have any cases in real life, but they're all over YouTube letting you know, hey, I'm a lawyer. I got a degree and I'm a lawyer. And they feed you a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that really means nothing. The reality is, most of these YouTube lawyers, they feed you a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that means nothing, but they know that you don't know it means nothing because they know a little bit more than you do. So they provide you with these legal documents. The majority of you all have no clue what these legal documents are or what they're about. But these YouTube lawyers will make it sound good, like there's all this stuff going on. And then they'll show you a document. Half of you all don't even read the documents. You just see, oh, there's a picture of a document. Okay, this person must be credible. These YouTube lawyers are never working cases. The reality is they sucked at their jobs, so they were forced to come to YouTube to make videos with us peasants. And the only thing that sticks out about them, most of them don't have good personalities. Most of them just use this title as oh, I'm a lawyer. They use that to garnish views because they know average people who don't know anything may look at a video and like, all right, well, instead of watching a regular person cover this topic, let me watch the YouTube lawyer cover this topic because they know so much. Never mind the fact they've never had a real case in their life. They're just on YouTube spouting nonsense all the time. I could go to a community college and become a paralegal and then tell everyone I know about the law, but I don't. So it's really funny to me how these YouTube lawyers for the past year and some change have been feeding you all nonsense like there's so much movement going on in these court cases. Not a single person is in jail. Britney Spears hasn't received a single dollar back from all the money that was supposedly stolen from her. Nothing at all has happened. Yet this lawyer has been sitting here milking Britney of millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. And that's what I told you all. That this is all theater. All of these little court cases, it's nothing more than we're going to keep prolonging this and dragging this out so we can milk Britney of her money. What happened is they got the family out the way so they could take a bigger piece of the pie. The YouTube lawyers out there know exactly what's going on because they're full of crap, just like all of these other lawyers. And they know the legal system is full of crap. Yes, it is. And I said it. And it's funny to me that all of these Britney stans and yes queens, they want to claim that, oh, this person was taking advantage of Britney. This person's making money off of Britney. This person stole Britney's money. But all of them are too dumb to realize that the Free Britney movement was basically created to make money off of Britney. People wanted to spin wild theories about Britney so they could make money off of her talking about it. The lawyers involved in this situation knew that this would be a huge payday. All they got to do is come in and pretend they're doing stuff for the next 10 years while they milk this woman dry. The record executives, everyone knew, hey, we get the family out the equation and we get the bigger piece of the pie. And boy, oh boy, it seems like everyone has a piece of the Britney Spears pie in their mouth right now, including these YouTube lawyers that have the pie covered all over their face while they've been feeding you nonsense for 17 months about, oh, this person's going to go to jail, this person's going to do that. Nothing has happened. Nothing is ever going to happen. The only thing that will happen is Britney's bank account will continue to be depleted by all of these people who claim they're doing so much. And you all at home, not all of you, but you Yas Queens, y'all are the ones responsible for this. You helped push this movement, and you weren't even smart enough to realize that this movement was compromised early on, and this movement was spearheaded by a lot of people that never really cared about the situation at all, except for their own benefit. But let's go ahead and check out this article. Britney Spears paid lawyer Matthew Rosengart law firm. Britney Spears paid lawyer Matthew Rosengart's law firm $4.2 million in legal fees. Britney Spears has paid the law firm of her lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, millions and millions of dollars in legal fees. And our sources say members of her team have become agitated enough that Rosengart has now agreed to provide legal services for free for the immediate future. Sources with direct knowledge say that Britney has paid Rosengart's firm roughly around $4,201,000 for the period from November 2021 through March 2023. That represents the legal work Rosengart performed mostly after the conservatorship ended. Sources say that figure represents only a part of what Britney has paid Rosengart's firm, and that the fees now approach almost $6 million. We're told Britney's team pushed back on Rosengart over this fee, and the lawyer has now backed down and agreed to work pro bono for the remainder of the case against Jamie Spears. We know Rosengart has been providing legal services in various areas of Britney's life, including ending the conservatorship and ongoing case against Jamie, music, book deal, and other matters, Rosengart has been critical of some of the eye-popping lawyer fees connected to the conservatorship. According to legal docs filed by Rosengart, dozens of lawyers in the 13-year-long conservatorship case made a total of more than $30 million. Britney was reportedly worth $6 million $60 million when the conservatorship ended. Our sources say it is now a lot less. So you see, during the Free Britney movement, Matthew Rosengart was being truthful. And he was saying, lawyers connected to this conservatorship, they've been doing these court cases that really mean nothing, bleeding Britney dry of money. Various lawyers throughout the course of 13 years accumulated roughly around $30 million from Britney. That was Matthew Rosengart's, one of his main complaints and something that he pointed out. And a reason why a lot of people started backing this dude. But over 13 years, various lawyers, a handful, maybe even a dozen, accumulated around $30 million over 13 years. Matthew Rosengart pointed that out. He had a problem with it, naturally so. We all should. And we thought things were okay, right? We thought he was trustworthy. Well, it turns out that over just a 1-year period, mind you, the $30 million over 13 years for various different lawyers. One lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, 1 year, approaching $6 million that he has accumulated from Britney Spears. 1 year, $6 million, one lawyer, as opposed to 13 years, let's just say a dozen lawyers and $30 million. You do the math. Who's the real enemy here? Who's really the one that's taking advantage of Britney? Let's do 6 million times 13 years. Let's say Matthew Rosengart was able to carry this on for another 12 years. What is 6 times 13? It's kind of hard to do that math, right? But obviously, you will see that Matthew Rosengart is taking more money at a faster pace than any other lawyer that Britney's ever dealt with, despite the fact that not a single thing has happened. Nothing, not one positive thing has happened in Britney's life since the conservatorship ended. She hasn't gotten any money back from anyone. Her book is still delayed over and over again. Not a single person is in jail. Nothing at all has happened. Yet this dude has racked up $6 million. And now, because he's been caught and he's been called out by Britney's team, now he's like, oh, I'll do the rest of the case for free. Yeah, you're damn right you should. Because you've already been paid way more than you should have been paid in the first place. So, the truth is coming out, folks. And the truth is the same exact truth that I painted on the wall for you all months ago. That the Free Britney movement was nothing but a sham. It manipulated a lot of people online. And a lot of the prominent influencers that were involved in it, they're paid off shills. Okay? They were in it for their own gain all along. So they can gain clout and they could gain a following. What I've noticed about a lot of these people is they target celebrity fan bases, which is like the exact opposite of what I do. I tell the truth in my videos, and I piss off a lot of fan bases. They threaten to kill me. I lose subscribers every day because someone's mad about what I said about Britney, or Bam Margera, or insert celebrity name here. Whereas these other creators, they come in and they tell these fan bases what they want to hear. They try to infiltrate the fan bases and get on the good side, so Britney Spears' fan base becomes their fan base. They're hijacking fan bases out here while feeding y'all a bunch of mush-mouth nonsense. While the real deal is out here, the real situation is, real stuff is out here happening, and they turn a blind eye to it. And they've been feeding you all, oh, Britney Spears got another court date, Jamie Spears is a court date, oh, saying about, and this is going to happen. Not a damn thing is happening, folks. wake the fuck up, please. I am so glad that this is starting to come out. Britney's team is agitated with Project Rose. What's Project Rose? Project Let's take $6 million from Britney and not do a damn thing for her. So what it all boils down to, and what's crazy, is that people like me, who are very critical of Britney, who Britney Spears fans hate, I'm one of the only ones out here telling the truth about Britney, and it seems like I have Britney's best interest at heart, whereas y'all don't, which is weird, because I'm public enemy number one to Britney Spears fans. They hate me, or not all of them, but a lot of them do. But I'm the only one that's been out here cracking the code, telling the people the truth about what's going on this whole time. And you know what? This is like music to my ears. I am glad to see this stuff come to light. But at the end of the day, this doesn't change anything, because dude's going to still sit here and finesse off of Britney, and Britney's brain dead fan base, not all of them, but the brain dead Yas Queens, they're going to go along like this dude is God's gift to earth. They act like this dude is an archangel sent here to save Britney, and y'all are going to go tune into these YouTube channels where these people lie to your faces and pretend like things are happening when they're not, just in order to get engagement and clicks and views and subscribers. You see, the difference is between me and a lot of other people is I don't care what people think about me. I only care about the truth and spreading the truth. Now, am I going to wind up being successful in doing that? Will I garnish some success and some support in the process? Sure, and I am thankful for that. But I don't sit on YouTube and lie, and I don't sit on YouTube and pretend in order to get support from people, which is what a lot of these people are doing. And you all, the majority of you all, have been misguided from day one when it comes to this Britney situation. But the cracks are starting to show. Things are going to get exposed. This is the tip of the iceberg, people. Britney Spears is not okay. Britney Spears is very much not okay. And the people around her know that. And the people around her are taking advantage of her just like they always have. And the people around her that are taking advantage of her, they're the same exact people who have always been there. The only people that have been excommunicated out of the situation is Britney's father, her mother, and, I guess, the rest of her family. Let me know your thoughts, though, down in the comments below. Deny it all you want. The proof is in the pudding. While you're in the comments, hit that thumbs up button. We got to get these likes up on these videos. Hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'll talk to you all in the next video.